Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm checking out this car show. It's for a fundraiser for a high school football team to get them new equipment. As you see, it's a big turnout. There are a lot of cars to check out. And some people wanted me to do more of these videos. Wow, what a nice truck. I think it's a Ford F100. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this is the color that I would never think about if I was to repaint a car, but it looks really awesome, especially in the sun. And he's got a matching bicycle, which I can relate to. You have some leftover paint, you start thinking, what else can I paint? It's a nice day today, the weather is nice, and there's more people showing up like this guy here. And here we have its Japanese half-brother. It's a different shade of green though. Looks like a John Deere tractor green. One of the original muscle cars, Oldsmobile 442, I think. Or a Cutlass. Obviously, I'm not the expert with these kind of cars. What I know is from what I watched as a kid, from Speed TV and Maguire's and all those kind of shows. This is an ambulance, but from far away I thought it was a Ghostbusters car. They also have the high school band playing songs here, so I'll try to talk clearly over it. Imagine you get hurt on a job site and this thing shows up to take you to the hospital. You'll be like, what the hell? Back in the days when a doctor would use a saw on a patient. Scary stuff. This is the reddest shade of red I have ever seen in my life. It looks so red. It's actually burning my eyeballs. I'm gonna guess it's a Ford. Like I said before, some of these 30s cars, they look the same to me, and it's hard for me to tell from far away if it's a Ford or a Chevy. It's got a V8, of course, all chromed out. And that's a lovely tanned interior, matches that red really well. Kinda like a classic Ferrari combination, red and brown interior or tan interior. You can tell a lot of money was spent on the interior of this car. The leather probably came from one of those places where the cows get massaged every day while listening to classical music, and they don't get yelled at. Alright, my guess was correct. It's a Ford Coupe. Find the position of the license plate to be a little bit strange. That's gonna get a lot of air resistance. Camaro. Maybe it's a 1970. A lot of them have that style of shifter. Looks like an original car the way it was back in the day to me. I like the two-tone paint on this 55 Chevy. Makes sense the white is on the roof, so that in the sun it's gonna be cooler than having a black roof. I wonder back in the day when these things would get into accidents, what kind of metalwork is involved. And it's parked next to a new Corvette. First C8 Corvette I see in real life. And the rear hood slash rear trunk lid is huge, because they designed it to fit a golf bag in the back. Looks awesome from the front, but I'm not a big fan of the way it looks from the back. It's just too big. I would much rather have this. I'm guessing a 68 Firebird. Truly badass. Something you can work on yourself. You don't have to worry about scraping the front end on a speed bump. Blue on blue. Wonder if he listens to that song I'm Blue while driving this. And it's got the right muscle car stance. 60s Corvette convertible. I've never seen that rear thing I'm guessing where the soft top folds into, open like that. That's the first time I've seen that. I would definitely rather have this than a new Corvette. It's the right size, and the doors are thinner and lower. You can hang your arm on the door while you cruise. You feel less claustrophobic, but it makes the car more enjoyable to drive, definitely. This is like the GM corner over here. They want to be on their own. Third gen Camaros, Monte Carlos. We got this thing over here with a big radiator sticking out. Nice, deep, rich blue paint. And possibly there's a nitrous bottle hidden somewhere in this car. We'll get you a close-up on the paint here. It looks really nice. And look at this rear quarter panel. That was done before all this technology we have today. I'm guessing it was probably even done by hand and designed by a guy with a pencil. IROC Z convertible. I haven't seen one of these on the road maybe in 20 years, and it looks all original. I'm really impressed people have preserved these 80s G-bodies so well, especially when the F-bodies came out, the 4th gens. These were really cheap, and I remember they were so cheap that people were just neglecting them and scrapping them. I always like these taillights, they're so 80s. We got a couple of Camaros and Firebirds here, late 60s cars. This looks like it has been restored by the fresh color on the engine block. Can somebody please educate me why some of these Camaros have round headlights and some of them have the covered headlights? So I'm guessing that's the Z28 looks like that, and the SS has the exposed round headlights. Two really cool cars, different colors. Two brothers from different mothers. This one has a fresh interior in it. We have orange and we have black with silver stripes. Which one would you have? I like the black one more. That's just me. Especially with those two stripes over it. I thought this car was black from far away, but check this out up close. I think they sprayed it red and then painted it black, or the other way around. But you have to see it in the sun to truly appreciate it. I think it's a smart move to put updated seats in these cars just for comfort. Speaking of colors, this one you don't need to see it from up close. It just grabs you from far away. Looks like a copper color that was popular back in like 2005. The Cobalts and the Corvettes, Nissan 350Z, they came in that type of color. Oh, that's risky to have a white interior car that has such a powerful looking engine. Not gonna make the joke, as it could scare the something out of your passenger. Look at this tiny thing. I saw this yellow MG pull in earlier. It's so tiny, yet taken 2 spaces. And back in the day, this was what the Mazda Miata copied. But this looks even smaller. It's for the English gentleman. And it's got real wood on the top of the door. Doesn't look like it has windows. And that's the type of wood that probably gives you splinters. No, I'm just kidding. It looks really nice. This is a special car from my youth. Shelby GT500. These came out in 2007, I'm gonna say. And this one looks like it's a daily driver. It's got dirt on the air filter, on the engine bay. So that's cool. Somebody's enjoying this car, driving it every day as it's meant to be. It's got a simple but functional interior before all the screens became mandatory. Now this car looks like it's built for drag racing. It's got a fuel cell. It's got an upside down nitrous bottle. I was reading the other day on online forums that nitrous is getting hard to find, or people who run nitrous, it's hard to find, but I don't know if that's true. And I like how it has a roll bar and a roll cage, but he kept the interior in it so he can take all his friends for a ride and give them a neck adjustment in the process. This engine just looks like it's full of power. I didn't expect to see a four-door Audi here, but these things can be a weapon. This one looks heavily modified. They come turbocharged from the factory, and they have a quick shifting transmissions. They can be really, really fast. There's a funny quote by Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear. He once said that Audis are mainly built for German cement salesmen. It's pretty funny. This is by far my favorite car in the show. It's from the 30s. I think it's a Ford, I'm gonna say. But reminds me of the Chrysler Prowler. The way the suspension is laid out here. I don't think obviously that's not factory from back in the day. It's been upgraded. Definitely a high budget build. And it's not just about dumping a lot of money into a project. You have to have the right vision, and you have to use quality parts in the right places without overdoing it. There's definitely a balance of old and new, original and upgraded to do this. Even the exhaust, look at the exhaust, the way it's just done so nicely and underneath the car. I am definitely gonna consider this color for my next project, definitely. Wellwood brakes, Foos wheels, nice. There's a Nova over here. Looks like it has a modern LS engine in it. It's got fat tires in the back. Another Nova. This one has a more era correct type of engine in it. What is this? Looks like a camper is giving birth to a Volkswagen, or a Beetle crashed into a trailer. That is so funny. I'm guessing some hippie smoked something and decided to make a burger van out of a classic Volkswagen Beetle. I really wonder what this thing is like to drive, because these cars are not a powerhouse, obviously, and this adds a lot of weight. But the people seem to love it. The owner was telling me earlier that they built a couple hundred of these, but I've never seen one. (1970) Mustang. These were a bit less popular than the 60s, late 60s Mustangs, because they're a bit bigger and heavier, but still cool. This one has been modified and upgraded with modern seats and everything else. Another car in that type of green color. There's a few more cars left that I haven't seen yet. I'll get to them in a bit. It's okay. 60s Cadillac. This reminds me of Muhammad Ali, the boxer. I think he had a Cadillac like this one, but his was a convertible. But I love the paint job, like the interior. This is just class, pure class. And you have to have the white walls as the final touches for a car like this. There's a Boss Mustang and an AMC, I think it's a Javelin, but I know that's an AMC.
From like here to go to the gate to get the cab.
One of the few manual shifting cars here. What a nice color.
But he hasn't had a
Early 70s Corvette. These cars look great. It's a nice color. I've driven one of these and I didn't like it personally because I didn't fit in it correctly. But Chris Tucker from the movie Rush Hour was didn't have that problem. That's one way to keep the engine running cool. I wonder what they have to do to all this wood to keep it from getting old. And this thing has upgraded seats, which I definitely approve.
We've got Best Beats over there, still looking at Metro Loop is giving away their
Black on black.
Octane.
And in this case, black is beautiful. Another car, black on black. I like black cars, but I would never own one because they get hot in the sun, they scratch easy. It's just a hard color to keep clean.
Where's the talent? She's not back?
Silver is a color I don't mind. It shows the curves of the car really nice, especially when it's a Corvette like this. Looks all original in here, but then again, I'm no expert. Here's a car I've always heard about, a Corvair. First time I seen one in real life. This is a car that's famous for being labeled unsafe at any speed because the engine's in the back, and I didn't even know what kind of engine is in it. It looks like a 4-cylinder. This is probably my second favorite car here. Something about these fastback Mustangs in this color with the white stripes and the wood steering wheel. It's got the right wheels. Also, it's something that you can drive comfortably day to day. It's not too low, it's not too big. There's another Boss Mustang over here. It's got some documentation over here showing the restoration process. It's been fully restored, it looks like, on one of those rotisseries. Look at that engine. Just about reaching the end over here. This car looks like it's just dedicated to racing. It's just got a frame, an engine, and a body on it. Full racing slicks for drag racing. Stripped out interior. It's just a race car. Nice little truck. And why would you need an air conditioner when your windshield can open like that? And this is the end. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video.